Shalom, Shalom, Israel. This is your brother Nahar here from the Hebrew Israelites of Idaho camp. Now, this is going to be just a quick hitter in transit, but I wanted to speak briefly on this article that came out as of yesterday. But first and foremost, we would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect Akim that are pushing this truth in sincerity and all honesty. Putting everything on the line, putting all their eggs in a basket for this truth, which is what we're doing every day by investing our time, energy, mental focus on being a watchman and being focused on what's going on around the world, because it takes a lot out of you. And so but it's an honor to do this work, man, because so many people have their eyes closed to the reality of the world around them. So us being prophets, which are also known as seers, that can visualize why these things are happening, when these things are roughly going to happen, and the state of history that we are living in currently. That too many theologians, if I'm not saying that correctly, people that study what, how do you say, Salakia, like your politicians that study different events around the world, scientists, all these big wigs looking people that have an authority and a position of power, that they can't even connect the dots like the prophets can through the scriptures and understanding why things are happening. So, as it is to be a watchman standing on our post, we're supposed to, if we see something, say something. And this is something that I feel that, has to be brought up because this is a big deal. I'm going to read the article. It says, U.S. Army to begin formal training to fight American patriots. And I learned about this on Instagram, and the page that I'm currently on right now is my Instagram. And I'm going to read my 2 cents that I put into it, and then also the scriptures I added with it. It says, Esau is not fucking around. It says, there's about to be so much chaos and war and famine and death and tribulations and great mourning throughout all America, which is Babylon the Great. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 15. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. And we all understand that the sword is the modern day gun. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some swords out there in the battlefield after all these bullets run out, because a gun only can carry so much, and these people ain't ready for what's coming. Ain't no amount of bullets, ain't no amount of guns, ain't no amount of bulletproof vests that you got that can protect you from what's coming, because the only way that you're going to get through is through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai protecting you, putting that hedge around you, which is why we're out here even talking about this, spreading this word, waking people up, edifying the body, to try to get through to as many people as we can before this place finally tips. We see the holes in the ship has not gone down completely, but we're right there at that point where if we take any more water, man, this whole system will collapse. And the system being that boat, it's going to capsize. I'm going to continue reading. This is 2 Esdras 15 and 16. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And this is Isaiah, and that's going to be when they come down with all these bullshit hardcore regulations and mandatory this and mandatory that. There's going to be a certain point where people are just fed up with it. They're just done with it. They're not going to deal with any more of these pressure from above and pressure from below type tactics that are making people literally lose it. What's the saying in the world? That when a man has nothing else to lose, he loses it. And that's what this is slowly molding people into make those decisions. But what is the New World Order's motto? Order out of chaos. And in Jacob's trouble, there will be no mercy. So they want these chaotic things to happen so that they can try to step in and come in with a solution. Problem, reaction, solution. This is another one of their MOs. They create the problem because they already have the reaction of what they're going to do. and they have the solution too, apparently, so-called. But all it does is it's going to form more of their draconian laws into effect and shove down their beliefs down your throat, you know, making you drunk, which we already dealing with enough strongholds as it is, you know, with these fake religions, Christianity, you know, all these strongholds that have our people cleaving onto their oppressors. You know, being Muslim, that's another big one, man. And that's just the fact that, you know, our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, along with the speckled bird with the confusion of face, Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, don't completely understand where they're living at. Don't completely understand why they're here on this earth. Can't comprehend that their government, that they've lived here all their lives, would ever do such a thing, man. And what I always tell people is let history be your best teacher. When has this devil, and when will this devil ever do anything for you that's going to benefit you in the long run, or even in the short term? He's not, man. Even like these so-called juicy juices, man, that's just killing people. These so-called stimulus packages, man, that just increased hyperinflation. You know, I read an article the other day that said that 80% of the world's physical currency, Slovakia, the U.S.'s physical currency, that's dollar bills, coins, money, paper money, was printed in the year 2021. So they can't hide inflation for that much longer, man. Soon enough, it's going to be like the book of Revelation says, you know, the food prices are going to be astronomical. Famine is going to kick in, you know, all types of crazy things, which is going to lead to protests, which is going to lead to civil war, race wars, class wars, you know, all types of things. And this is Isaiah 19:2, which is leading into what I'm saying. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his neighbor, everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. So that's a civil war right there, man. Egyptian against Egyptian. And these modern day Americans are the modern day Babylonian / Egyptians / Roman Empire reborn, you know, because everything is regenerated. These spirits, these people's intentions. That's why it says in scriptures that perpetual hatred is still alive to this day. This is 2nd Esdras 13:31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another, man. That other realm is when our brothers, the angels, are going to come down in their angelic vehicles, what the world ignorantly calls UFOs, man, and get busy on these heathens. Starting with the top elite, you know, in the military of Esau, you know, and his allies alike. So, yeah, man, we ain't got much time left. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh. You know, I'm going to read this real quick. It says, a realistic guerrilla war will be fought across 24 North Carolina counties this month, with young soldiers battling seasoned, quote, freedom fighters, end of quote. According to U.S. Army, freedom fighters means American citizen patriots. Our army is now officially being trained to kill them, is what I'm probably assuming it was going to say there. But this is Robin Sage exercise will bring realistic guerrilla war training across rural North Carolina counties, Army warns. And that was January 10th, and this article is posted on the 11th, which was yesterday. So yeah, man, if we remember anything about Rex 84 that happened three or 4 years ago, you know, the Project Jade Helm, you know, all these military exercises moving within the United States is all focused on rounding up people, getting them to those the Q camps, and rounding them up, man. Either you're gonna take the MOTB or you're gonna get your head cut off, man. You're gonna starve to death, or you're gonna put your faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because that's the only thing, like I said in the beginning, that's gonna get us through, man. Nothing you can do, no preparations, no bunkers, buildings, bullets, nothing. Canned goods is going to get you through Jacob's trouble, man. Only by the spirit, mercy, and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is if we're going to be able to get through that, man. And the only way you're going to get through it is if you're under his wing. And the only way you can get under his wing, man, is if you come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, doing to the best of your ability, man, and being in this truth of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Starting with the head apostles and elders at Great Millstone, man, who teach the 100% doctrine that is warning and getting the flock ready to be able to face these things when they do happen. And lo it tarry, it will come, like scriptures say, you know. A day is of 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is as a day. So, man, we're right there. And things could happen so quick because we're so used to our little human time, you know, thinking that things are taking forever when really, man, things are moving at light speed in the heavens, you know? So, I hope this lesson was edifying. Let's just giving a quick warning out. Want to do a quick hitter on that article that I saw. This is your brother Nahar here, like I said, with the Hebrew Israelites of Idaho camp, taking our doctrine and learning from our apostles and the elders at Great Millstone. So with that being said, you know, I'd like to give a hearty shalom to all the hopeful elect men that are laboring in this truth. And, you know, keep persevering, keep pushing, keep the faith, keep fighting, because we're almost there, Israel. Kwam Yasharallah, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Brakatham, to the elect, to the Akyam Wa Akwath. You know, until next time, DTA Abal Gabal, soon.